I'd like to welcome everybody to the call. Thanks for taking your time on this Saturday. Not only are you investing your time, but you're investing in yourself because this is going to help your business. And everybody here, I believe, is a member of Wealth Step by Step, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and we all understand the pay plan and all that, so I don't need to go over that. I want to start asking that question because sometimes we get new people. And if they want to know about Wealth Step by Step, I want to be able to cover that before I dig into some other stuff. So I'm going to ask it every week just to make sure people understand it. It is going to be on YouTube. So Wealth Step by Step is a health and nutrition company. It is a 3x10 force matrix, $35 for the product. It's a probiotic, and it pays when your 3x10 is full, can pay over $300,000 a month. And I like to bring that up because where I start today is going to be about $300,000 a month. And I've said this before, if it took 5 years of nothing happening, and then the 5th year, you went from making $100 to making $300,000 a month, would that 5 years have been worth it? And if you're like me, I would say, well, heck yeah, because I've been working since I was 14 years old and I'm not making $300,000 a month yet. So we have to get our perspective right when we're building our business to understand that a real business does take time to build. I work at a car dealership. They just went their 50th anniversary, and it was pretty neat because when he first started out, he wasn't sure if he was going to make it for the first 3 years. And now today, the guy is multi-millionaire, and they've succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They've bought a bank now, and they do other stuff. But businesses, real businesses, take some time to build. And the big thing is, a lot of us are coming new to the entrepreneur system. We have that spirit, but we don't have the know-how. So we have to learn as we go at building our business. Now, fortunately, we're not buying a brick and mortar $50, $100, $200,000 business. We're starting our business for $37, something like that. And that's not a bad startup. Now, the downside to that, a lot of people don't take it serious because they don't have that skin in the game, as they call it. But if you plug in, and we do this every week, and we talk about what we have here is $1 million business. Every one of us owns $1 million business. And if we take it that, I got a couple of people I got to let in here. If we take it as $1 million business and focus on what we have, it'll keep us focused. Now, one of the things I want to share with you, this is a book. I read it once. I just started reading it again. Straight Line Leadership. I got
Put
an
it closer to the camera. Put it closer to the camera so we can see it. There you go. Okay.
I'll put in the link, the title and everything in there. But one of the things the first thing you read when you get in this book, I just started again because I didn't get enough out of it the first time. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And what we're doing here when we're online is we're not looking for ourselves. We're creating the life we want. We're creating the people we want to be. And that's what this online journey is all about, is creating what you want. You want a different life, and we come here. And it's a struggle. There's times that it's down. There's times it's up. There's exciting times, bad times. But to get there, we have to persist and be consistent. And I know we say that a lot, consistent and persistent. But if you want to grow, and I got away from reading. I read the Bible every morning. I start there. But I got so busy in I do the Bible, I walk the dog, I click for credits. I had this routine. I got away from doing some significant reading for self-improvement. Well, I'm starting here on this book again, and I've got shelves of other ones, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I've got a ton, and I'm going to start reading again because every time I've been reading these positive self-help books, I've watched my business take another step up because it changes the way I think, and it changes the way I run my business. I spent this last week, I did my Friday video with housekeeping. I spent this week trying to organize my business because a critical mistake I made early on was not being organized enough. And over the years, I've got stuff so spread out. I've got page builders galore, and I'm trying to consolidate it all and be organized. So that was Friday's video. But back to this, I mean, there are so good things here. I mean, we can divide people into two classes, those that go ahead and do something, and those who sit and still inquire, why wasn't it done another way? And when we think about online, there are two types of people online. There's those people that are out there doing it, going out and taking action every day. And then there's the ones that just sit waiting for someone else to build it for them, maybe waiting for some spillover, maybe waiting for the perfect program, the one that's going to work for them. Well, I've said it over and over, there's no perfect program. they all have flaws. They're all pretty much the same. You just have to pick the product that you like and the compensation you like. And again, I like the lower price one because over time we can build a huge organization and people have time to learn while they begin to earn. But they all have their weaknesses. Adam's not perfect. Adam's a great, straight shooting, straightforward guy, and I love him, and I know he's going to get this thing built rock solid. But he still has some issues that he has to do. He's working on that autoresponder. I heard he's got a new one. I'm not really caring about the autoresponder. I just want to keep the product moving, and I want to keep introducing new people to our company. But Adam's building something. His vision's a little bigger than mine, I guess. But you have to find your way to do it and take action every day. And like I said, every day I do my clicking for credits. This morning I did 200 clicks on traffic ad bar. The other day I actually did 1,700 clicks. I had nothing to do. I sat in the television and I spent my whole afternoon just clicking for credits. And I ended up on their leaderboard for clicking for credits. But there's I'm going to do a video on traffic ad bar again, because there is a way you can get points on traffic ad bar without clicking for credits. And I love programs that make it easy to get credits for advertising. And they have a link that if you put your link in there to advertise and you take the traffic ad bar link, when you send it to the safe list, it gives you points on traffic ad bar. And all they do is put their banner on the bottom of it. And it gives you points to lift your website up their level ladder, which I got, and I got to do a video, but it gives you more views for it. But every morning I click for credits. I take action every day. And then you got to follow up with people. That's a big one.
Yeah, Bob, you were saying about traffic ad bar and you put the bar. What I have done in that is I've put that site on ClickVoyager and set the auto click.
Yeah.
And you get like, on ClickVoyager, you get like 6,000-7,000 hits a day.
Mm-hmm. I get probably 5,000 hits to traffic ad bar every month now. I'm at level 11 on one of my websites. So I mean, it goes, but then when you do 1,700 clicks, it helps. But I like to show people what I do because I actually practice what I preach. And that's why I have success, is because I do take the action and it's daily action. And this business is so simple. What we're doing here, it's a lot of work, but it's simple. We're here. We want to get here. And I said it before, we're just rowing the boat across the lake and we're doing it together. But it's point A to point B. But so many of us, we're all over the place, up and going here and going over here, but it's point A to point B. All we have to do is find a couple of people that want to link arms with us. If we all went out and found 3 people to link arms with us, we'd be done in a month. But we find that very difficult because we put all this other stuff in there. But if we just focus on, I mean, most of us have a list with a bunch of names. If we could find a way to connect with just a couple of them, they're there on our list. I mean, every time I send an ad to my list, there is a response. I see a lot of people clicking on my ad, and I'm doing more emails toward, hey, listen, I'm Bob, I'm Coach Bob. I'm looking for 3 people to connect with. Would you be willing to connect with me? I have something I could teach you. I have something I'd like to share with you. And I have people responding, please give me a call. And this is working better than just sending them an ad to my website. I'm actually going to my list now and saying, my name is Bob, you've been getting my emails. I'm looking for 2-3 dedicated people to work with. Please respond to me or call me. And they're contacting me back. So I know I've got a couple people. I've got a guy out in Connecticut that we're talking right now. Tyler, he's not here. He's working today. He's got another person I'm talking to. Every lead Tyler gets, he is on that lead and he talks to them and communicates to them until they tell him no. Until they tell him stop calling me, he's on them. And he is going to go fast because he's doing the right thing. I mean, it's his business. He knows it's his business. He wants to grow his business. So he's talking to all the people about joining his business. And I think it's neat that we're all here together and we are rowing the boat. And if we just break it down to the simple A to B, that's all we're doing. We're going from here to there, and we're going to take this journey together, and we're just going to be consistent and persistent. And if we're weak somewhere, by golly, Duncan and I both said, call us. We'll talk to you. We'll find out where we can improve and tweak and make better. And Duncan's got the postcards going out. Some of you have received them. I've got mine coming. I think that's a fabulous sort of promotion we're going to do. Because it's so simple. Anybody can do it. Just put a stamp on it and mail it. It does take a little bit of money, but if you consistently send your postcards out, I know there will be results. And I know that because there's too many in the mail to say it's not working. If it wasn't working, people wouldn't be sending them. And I get every day in the mail, which tells me it works. So I know these postcards are going to do great. I'm looking forward. Trey, you've got a system you set up for these things, don't you?
Yeah, we got a system. Uh-oh, getting feedback.
Feedback, yeah.
How about now? Is that better?
Yep, no feedback.
All right. Yeah, we got a system in place. Duncan and I have been working on fine tuning it. It's pretty much ready for team use, but we're going to obviously try to keep improving it and making it better. And it's just based on postcards. I've been doing that for years. So you're right. It does work very well. You have to be patient and you have to really know what you're doing. But once you start making that contact with people and giving them a product and an opportunity to see something that they can easily follow and do, it produces some pretty good results.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to Ronnie today, and the thing about what people have to understand about, what I've coined the Simply 50 system is that, it doesn't sound like a lot. 50 postcards isn't a lot, but what people have to understand is that this is an organization, thing. It's everybody's doing it. So that's where it's going to come into play. As I said, once you start adding up the numbers and there's 3 and 4 and 5,000 postcards going out a month and all you're doing is sending out 50. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. And that is what people have to understand. We're not asking you to send out 5,000 postcards, 3,000 postcards. If somebody wants to send out more, they can, but all we're asking is 50. That's it. It is so simple and so huge.
Here's why I like network marketing, multi-level marketing over affiliate marketing. Because if you're in affiliate marketing and you do postcards, you're doing it for your own commissions in affiliate marketing. And some affiliates pay down a second level. But for the most part, all the advertising you do is to make a commission on your sale. That's affiliate marketing. You make a sale,
Right.
You make a commission. With network marketing, it starts out slow because you're out there promoting. When you get a sale, you got a sale. And it's the same with affiliate marketing. It takes time to get that sale. The problem with affiliate marketing, you got to do it again by yourself. With network marketing, when you make that connection, now there's 2 of you. So the promoting went from just you to you and somebody else, as long as we get them plugged in and we get them to be consistent, persistent. Again, there are a lot of people that don't take action. And we have some in our group that just take no action. And that's why we have to keep going out and be consistent and persistent till we get the ones that actually want to pick up the oar and row the boat with us, because we got some people in the boat that are still looking around, seeing what's going on, where they got to pick up their oar, and they will. Some people are going to get the vision to pick up the oar, but as long as we do it, with network marketing, it starts building to a point where right now we have on this call 8 of us. Imagine 6 months from now, and there's 50 of us or 100 of us, and we're all plugged in, and we're all doing the 50 postcards. The numbers just exponentially say you're going to grow much faster and faster. The problem you have is you do have the looky-loos, you have the people that don't do anything, and then you have the people that drop out. So we have to stay motivated for when those things hit us, because it's tough when you're first starting out and you finally have somebody. You got your first person, and 3 weeks later they're gone, and you're devastated. And so now you start seeing this shiny object out there, and you go, "Well, I'm going to do that because it looks like more people are attracted to that, or they have a shinier website. That'll work better." And then you jump over there. And most of us who've been online have been on this cycle, and we've done it more than once. We've jumped over there and we sat there and we had that initial excitement. And then all of a sudden that feeling goes away and we were right back where we were again. We maybe got one and they quit. So then we joined something else. So the whole thing is consistent and persistent. And we say it over and over again, because if you're consistent and persistent and you work through the beginning, I say year to 2 years, and you work through it and stick with it and stick with us, we're going to get you there, because the team is growing. There are new people. I'm talking to new people all the time, just moving them across that finish line, get them in the group and get them on these calls. You're going to see the growth really start to take place when we hit that little exponential factor, which always hits these companies. They explode. And we are in the beginning of this company. They don't even have 500 distributors yet. We're at the beginning of this thing. So when it takes that exponential explosion, we're all in the right place to see everything just go woof, because they will go to the 5,000, 10,000 distributors, and we're up in that matrix pretty high. So I'm excited about this. Duncan and I know we're not going anywhere, but the last thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to do a video on this, is be ready for change. You have to be willing to adapt in business to an ever-changing environment out there, And in this world online, it changes almost every day. There's something that changes. They came out with the whole thing where you had to put that little blurb at the bottom of everything for the can spam or whatever it is for Europe. These things change on us overnight. And then we have to be prepared. If something goes awry, we have to be ready to take advantage of that and move in the right direction. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Your favorite advertising source, let's say Traffic Ad Bar, which I really like, it goes away tomorrow. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to find something else to replace it. I'm not going to let it devastate me, but I'm going to be ready to move my business where I need to, because it is my business and I'm always going to be prepared for what's coming. I mean, who knows what tomorrow holds? I think we're in a great place with the home industry, because right now, the job industry, the supply industry, the whole illness out there, everything out there has got people fearful, and it's much easier to sit at home and work than it is to go out into the world and get involved with a bunch of people. And people are finding more and more people are looking to go this route because they feel it's a safer environment. So we're in the right place to see things happen and this industry grow even more. It's just getting people to not do the shiny object and jump all over the place. Duncan, you got anything else? I've been kind of
Yeah, I'm kind of go back to the postcard system again, is that what we're trying to instill in people is that, they need to see the bigger picture, like what might not necessarily affect you directly affects you indirectly. Because like Ronnie, for example, Ronnie has already felt spillover. So even from the postcard system, if he runs 50 out, and if the most people below him run the 50 out, that's going to indirectly affect him when people join, if they're in his line. And that is what people have to understand, that indirect effect can affect them directly. Just because they sent out their 50, they might not get any, but then people directly in their line might get some from the 50, and that is going to directly affect them. And that is what people have to understand. And they just some of them just don't see it. I don't know what
I just put the book and the link down there. I'm pretty sure I paid $10 for this on Amazon. It was recommended to me by one of my mentors I had. If you guys, for those of you that, if you do pick this book up, what we can do is we can like read some of it together 1 week and say, by next week, let's have a chapter done, motivate ourselves to read the chapter. And then we can have a little time where we kind of ask questions and talk about what we took from that chapter, if you'd like to. Like a reading club, I don't know. But this book, the first time I read through it, had such an impact on my business. It was the first time my business took the huge change. And I'm getting ready to go through it again, and I know it'll do it again because there's so much in here. And this is all more about what our mindset is and what our inner stance is and how we approach things. And it'll get you in the right mindset to get from A to B. So I recommend it. I don't make anything for it, but it's a great book. It definitely changed a lot of what I do. And there's other good ones, but if you guys get it and you want to talk about, man, I'd love to have it motivate you to read that chapter each week, and then we can kind of talk about it and keep our businesses growing, and we'll become that.
Hey Bob, did you know who that person was that, I guess they dropped out or whatever, but there was someone here, anyone know who that person was?
I didn't catch the name. I mean, I can look at the recording and go back and see who it is.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think
They
it was
just
just a phone
They just
number.
had what was that, Barbara?
They just had a phone number show up.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we can look at we can look at all the websites of people that are with us in our group and see who it was. Might have been someone checking us out. I've got a couple people I invited today and said, come on by if you want to check us out and see who we are. I had a guy ask how many professionals we've got in our group. Because I've got one of my ads out there talking about we're a group of professional marketers and we like to help other people. So it might have been him seeing how many we had, taking a head count or something. And I thought that was funny. It's like, you want numbers? I'm like, okay, I'm all right with that. It's like, come on in. It's like, see who we are. You're going to find out we're just regular people making it happen. So, but does anybody have any questions today, or anybody got a topic they would like me to cover in a video or something like that? Because sometimes my content ideas run dry and I'm sitting here going, okay, I got to get 3 videos for the week. What do I do? So if you've got a topic you'd like covered, you can put it in the chat. You can tell me about it, or if you've got a question, I'd love to try and take a shot at it.
The only thing I'd like to say, and probably Trey and Duncan you guys are real familiar with the postcards and stuff. What I like to tell people, not just present, but what I have experienced in the past is you get a postcard, put your stamp on it. If you already got the sticky thing with the lead, you take it to the mailbox or post office, whichever is the case. Mailman, delivery guy, or post office guy, they see it. It gets it put in somebody else's bag to be out for delivery. There's no telling how many people saw that one postcard. And a lot of people think, nobody's going to see it. I mean, no, they don't really think about the possibilities of that one postcard being seen by more than one person.
Right now, Barbara, did you get your postcards yet?
No, Duncan, I can't say that I have because of
Okay.
the fact that I've pulled muscle in my back and I
Oh.
can't hardly walk.
Oh, no.
So husband, when he gets back, he's going to go into the
Okay.
mailbox.
Because when I sent it out, you should have gotten a track. Did you get any kind of tracking information or anything like that from when I?
Yeah, I did. And I just
Okay.
totally forgot about it. Been
Okay,
fighting pain.
okay.
So
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that, because supposedly it's supposed to send you out tracking stuff. So I'm glad that, that you can verify that it did.
yeah.
I got a question for Trey. As you can see, I got a postcard in the mail. I'm not asking if it's yours, but I mean, they come in the mail to me all the time and I get mail all the time. The question I have here, this one doesn't have it, but a lot of your postcards have that return address where somebody has their own address on there. Do you reverse mail and send one of your postcards to people that you receive mail from?
I have before. Yeah, I have before. And that's one of the things that go on constantly. Because you're dealing with people who are in that industry and in that mindset anyway. And a lot of times they're actually leaders that have a list in the whole nine. And so, yeah, I have done that before. We haven't talked about that with this just yet. But that is a form of marketing that you're not purchasing a list, you're just returning to those that mail to you.
That already bought your name off a list.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I noticed the ones I get the envelopes on, where the package ones, where those ones tend to have more of the return address. Postcards a lot of times don't. They might have a corporate address or something. But I've been starting to save them for that reason, because I know I'm going to get cards from Duncan, and I'm going to start doing mailings too. And I'm like, well, there's some free names of people I know are in the industry. They might like my card better than what they're doing. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to reverse mail every piece of mail I get. I'm going to send it right back at them.
Yeah, it's smart to do. And another thing, going back kind of to what Barbara was saying, not only when you do a mailing, are there numerous people who see it as it's in transit, but a lot of times people, they get the postcard and they hold on to it. They may not take action immediately, but that becomes kind of a residual leverage type thing later on. And I've had tons of people come back months later and either join a program or ask questions about it. So if you consistently do the action, you have several forms of marketing and your information out there that at some point can produce quite well. So it's
right. I'll tell you, it was kind of funny. I had, I guess I had done a postcard program and I guess asked for information about something. And man, all of a sudden, within a week after that, it's just like, man, I just got bombarded with them. And now it's been a couple of months, maybe 5-6 months later now, it's like nothing. So there's got to be some kind of, someone's got to be cleaning up something, because obviously my name is taken off of a list now, because I am definitely not getting what I used to get. So how does that, do you know how that works, Trey? Or?
Well, works two different ways. The first way, which is probably what's you, is a lot of times when your name first shows this, the people who purchased this during that time, they immediately send out their pieces of mail. But very few people consistently keep mailing or do the follow-ups. So a lot of people do it one time. I mentioned this earlier, hoping just to get something real quick. That's it. But if you consistently get a piece of mail from someone, then that's a person that's ongoing. They're doing marketing as they go. So that's part of the problem. The other thing is, it just depends on the vendor your name was on. A lot of vendors consistently just take the same numbers, and then some do fresh lists. So the fresh lists, people have to have requested information about postcards recently. So your name all off of them if you don't consistently either respond or request again. So it happens both ways.
You use a key phrase in there that we like to say here, consistent and persistent.
Yeah.
That's,
It makes a difference.
I mean, why do you think McDonald's is still advertising today? They're consistent and persistent with their ad campaigns. They didn't just stop commercials. I mean, every business we use, they're still advertising today, and they're advertising every day because they're consistent and persistent. And by golly, every successful business is consistent and persistent. So that's what I got for today.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are we supposed to send postcards out more than once to the same person?
Yeah, I caught that out of your thing, Trey, when you said follow up and
It depends.
emailing if you have something.
Yeah, it's ideal to, but it's hard to at the same time if you don't have a tracking and those types of things already set up. The best way is to have an autoresponder, and that allow that to keep making contact with the person after that initial contact. That's the easiest way. But as far as direct mail in and of itself, if you know how to preserve your lists, and usually this would require you to get them either on mail and stick labels and either in email format or in another format, you got to talk to your lead vendor. Get it in another format to where you have access to the leads in your database. And then, yeah, you can consistently mail to that same list and, actually really get more people in return from the same list instead of just buying one list and then buying another list and then buying another list. So that's the best way to do it if you really plan to do marketing long-term, is to make a connection with a good vendor. And Duncan and I are working on that, trying to find what fits best with what we're trying to do. And then when they give you a list, ask them for the names, either in email format or on a CD or something, to where you can consistently keep marketing to that same group, because then the more you market to them, the more they become familiar with you. It's good to positive messages and kind of just make that personal touch, kind of like what Bob was talking about earlier, just letting them know you're a real person and that you are only looking to actually work with certain people. And that can actually produce a better result than just trying to hit a moving target.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Kind of
ma'am.
like branding. And I think a good idea,
Yeah.
What you're saying is, if you have your list and you do a mailing and the website goes to an opt-in where you capture their name and email if they have interest, if you made a copy, even if it's just a photocopy of your list, you can look at who opted in, find them on that list, and just email to that instead of re-emailing a whole list of people that might just be thrown in the trash. So, and I know that's the system you're building with the capture page, so we'll be able to capture the people that are interested that put their name in there. We'll be able to follow up via email, via mailings again, direct mail, and possibly even phone number if we collect their phone number. But I think your system, when I saw that and said, man, we're going to have them go to a mail, and if they're interested in that postcard, they're going to go to a website, they're going to have to put their name and email in there. Now we can reach them via email, and we can also go back to the list if we made a copy of it and find out where their address was, and we can direct mail them, maybe even a personal letter in an envelope saying, hey, I saw you respond to my postcard. I want to let you know who I am. And the nature of the game, and what it really comes down to, and you do it so well with the direct mail and that website I saw, the nature of the game is your business has to stand out more than the other guy, and they want to get to know you. Because everybody online, like I said, I use traffic ad bars, one of the ones I use. When I click, I can't tell you how many times I see the same web page for the same website for the same company, and I'm like, I know what they do because I've seen it 100 times. I don't need to click on their site. I don't need to get more information because I see it over and over and over again. I even see our well step by step, the capture page they give us. I see that a lot on there, and I know what they're doing. I'm like, okay, but when I see a different capture page that I haven't seen, I look at it and I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. And sometimes I put my name in there to see if they're doing what I'm doing with well step by step, and they might have a better page than me. So I always tell people, if you can be different in your business and stand out, people are going to want to work with you. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're just another billboard along the highway they're reading. They have no reason to want to work with you. You've got to have something a little bit more that says, I care. I want to work with you. I want to help you. Get to know me. And I think the direct mail is going to do it, because if I can follow, if they put their name in there and then I can follow up personally with them like that via direct mail, a letter, that's going to be huge. That's going to change people's lives.
And the other benefit we have of Duncan has been able to kind of point us in the direction of a discount on postage. So it allows us to make that personal touch and it be cost efficient still. So we have a good concept of what we're trying to put in place, and I think it really can help a lot of people.
Time. We gotta take, it's gonna take some time, but we're getting there. The boat's picking up a little bit of speed, and great, thanks for being on our team. This is great. You bring a lot of value here. This is great. Any other questions?
Just a quick one, basically for, I guess, Trey, since he seems to be a lot in postcards. Does the color of the paper stock make a big difference?
Yes and no. In theory, it does. And that's what I love about Duncan's designs. The yellow neon colors tend to stick out. And for a lot of different reasons, there's a psychology behind it. However, I've learned that people who love postcards, it does not matter. They really, if it's a message that is compelling enough and it speaks to them, they will respond. So it's kind of a yes and no thing. It's good to try to mix it up and not just be what everybody else is doing. But like I said, what your message is and your process is more important than the postcard itself.
Well, I only ask that because many, many years ago, when I started my own little publishing business, I could go to my courthouse and get a list of new business names. And I would come home and create a business card, and I would make a letterhead. I just do all that stuff just to try and entice them to hire me to do that. Well, I turned it around and did postcards on this bright iridescent pink and green and yellow colors. And
Yeah.
I turned out to get more business that way, because and they would come in the mail, they would just get stacked on the kitchen table or wherever. And 3-4 weeks later, next month, they'd be cleaning, picking up all these things, and here would be this bright piece of mail. And they have to stop and look at it then. And I got more business doing that than anything else.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, that's it. You summed it up in a nutshell. You stood out, and it reminded something different you used to seeing. So that's why it's important.
You were the color out of the stack of white.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
But that was just what I did.
I guess that wraps up our Saturday, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.